Hi everyone, it is May, and what that means is that new round of MBA application has just started. So in order to help you, I want to create this video as a complete guide for your MBA application. This video is going to be a little bit longer than the other videos, so I suggest you like and collect this video so you can revisit anytime you want. And without further ado, let's get into it. In this video, I'm going to cover different aspects of your MBA application, which includes your grades, either GRE or GMAT, and also your essays, the application forms, the recommendations, resume. And for interview, I will cover that in another video. Make sure you subscribe to my channel so you can see more of my future videos. First up, GMAT or GRE score. A lot of people ask me what grades should I get, and for this my general advice is that you should aim as high as you can, but there's always a guide, which is every school has an average GMAT or GRE score, so try to get as close to that score as possible. If you are a little bit more ambitious and you want to get scholarship, then my suggestion is that you try to aim 20 to 30 points higher than the average score. And I think the timeline for GMAT or GRE is about 2 months. Next up is the essay. For the essay, I would suggest that you take about 2 months at least before the deadline to write your essay. In the first month, try to get the draft out of yourself, and in the second month, try to get people to read your essays and provide constructive feedback. Now, the second step, which is to seek for other people's opinion, is extremely important, because when you have spent months writing essays about yourself, there can be blind spot that you can't really see, and the marginal improvement you can make on your essay will be very, very minimal. But if you can ask your friend, your manager, or whoever that really understands you or know you well, then they can provide really good feedback in terms of the essay. One of the questions that I ask the people when they read my essays is, do you think this is too cringe? So I will try to ask those questions to see whether the essay is truly reflective of who I am. And for the essays, I would suggest you prepare 3 achievement stories or leadership stories, and prepare 2 failure story and 1 story that distinguish you from the rest. The next thing that you need to prepare and get started as soon as possible is the online application form. Why do I say this? Is because some school actually track your digital record. So they will look at how often do you log into the portal, how often do you update your profile. These kind of things, they take it seriously. So for those schools, when they see that you have started way earlier in the game, they will think that you are really serious and interested in the school. And every school wants to feel that you are prioritizing and you are invested in their application. Another practical reason why you should start as early as possible with your online application form is because there tend to be a lot of small mini essay questions that you have to answer. So if you wait until last minute, you might don't have enough time to prepare a good answer. So start as early as you can. Next up is recommendations. For recommendations, this is slightly different from other master programs that people are applying. It can be professors, but for MBA program, they only want people who know you from the professional standpoint, which means that you have to choose people who you have worked with. Some school even require you to select your line manager as one of the recommenders. My suggestion for everyone on the recommendation is to reach out to your recommenders as soon as you can and set up 1 or 2 meetings with them to follow up and check the progress, because they are super busy and they may not necessarily prioritize your recommendation letter. But if you can help them and make them understand what's like in the process, and even provide the examples that you wish they can mention in the recommendations, then it will be much easier for them to write the recommendations for you. And here I also want to point out that it's even better if your recommenders can point something that is slightly different from what you have already covered in your application form or your essays, to complement your story and make it a more full version of yourself. Next up is resume. For resume, I will cover it in another video in great details on how you should write your MBA application resume. But the point I want to mention here is that your MBA application resume should not be the same resume that you use for job applications, because it's for different purpose. For MBA application, your resume is very important, because when the admissions officer pick up your resume, that's the first thing to help them form a first impression of you, and a good resume can immediately grab their attention and make them want to know more about you and even invite you to an interview. So that's all I want to cover in this video for your MBA application. If you want more tips on applying to MBA programs and how to preparing for interview, make sure you follow me and I will post more video in the future